You told yourself you'd start saving this month, and you meant it, genuinely, sincerely meant it. Maybe you even looked up a savings plan, or moved some money around in your head, or thought about it seriously enough that it almost counted as doing something. And then the month happened. Expenses came in from directions you half expected and directions you didn't see coming at all. And when you checked your account at the end of it, there was nothing left to save. Again. Not because you were reckless, not because you bought anything outrageous, just nothing left. The same result, a different month, the same ending. That cycle, the one where saving stays perpetually in the "I'll start soon" category, is something I find genuinely fascinating and genuinely frustrating in equal measure. My name is Threk, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, human psychology, and why the gap between wanting to save and actually saving is so much wider for so many people than any spreadsheet or budgeting app would suggest it should be. And what I want to do in this video is be honest with you. Not preachy, not lectury, just honest about the specific reasons this keeps happening. Because most of the answers aren't what people expect, and understanding them is the first thing that actually changes the outcome. Because here's the truth. The reason you can't save isn't usually a math problem. It's a design problem, and design problems have design solutions. The first and most important reason is that you're trying to save what's left over. This is how almost everyone approaches saving, and it is structurally almost guaranteed to produce nothing. The logic feels right. Pay your bills, live your life, and save whatever remains at the end of the month. But money doesn't work that way in practice. Expenses expand to fill available income. Every month there will be something, a dinner, a purchase, a small treat, an obligation, that consumes whatever buffer existed. Not because you're undisciplined, because that's how spending naturally behaves when it isn't bounded. Saving last means saving never. The structural fix is to save first. Before anything else leaves your account, a fixed amount goes to savings automatically. Not whatever's left, a predetermined number moved on payday before your brain registers it as spendable. This is called paying yourself first, and it's honestly one of the oldest pieces of financial advice in existence for a very good reason. It works mechanically in a way that saving last structurally cannot. You don't need more discipline, you need a different order of operations. The second reason, and this one is a little uncomfortable to say out loud, is that your savings target is probably too abstract to motivate action. I want to save more money is not a goal, it's a wish, and wishes don't have deadlines, amounts, or automatic transfers attached to them. The brain doesn't mobilize around vague positive intentions the same way it mobilizes around specific targets with visible progress. If you don't know the exact number you're saving toward, the exact account it's going into, and the exact date you'd like to reach it, you're not planning to save. You're planning to plan someday. The fix is radical specificity. Not save more, but save $300 into this specific account by the end of this specific month. Not build an emergency fund eventually, but reach $1,000 in this account by this date. The number doesn't have to be large. The specificity is the point, because a specific target with a visible progress bar, even if the progress bar is just a number in a spreadsheet, activates the same part of the brain that makes you finish a video game level or complete a task list. Vague goals produce vague action. Specific goals produce specific behavior. The fourth reason is something I'd call the spending identity problem, and it's probably the most honest thing in this video. Most people have a very clear, practiced identity as a spender. They know what they like, what they're willing to pay for, what their consumption patterns look like, but they have no corresponding identity as a saver. Saving feels like deprivation, like removing something from your life, like a temporary punishment. Spending feels like expression, like freedom, like being a full participant in your own life. And when those two things are in competition inside the same brain, spending wins almost every time. The shift that changes this is building a saver identity alongside the spender one, not replacing it, because telling yourself you'll never spend on enjoyable things is a plan that lasts about 2 weeks, but genuinely beginning to think of saving as something you do, as a behavior that defines you, as satisfying in its own right, rather than just a sacrifice. Some people get there through visible accumulation. Watching the number grow creates its own reward signal. Some people get there through connecting the savings to a specific thing they want: freedom, a trip, a home, the ability to leave a job that isn't working. The mechanism matters less than the result. Saving stops feeling like deprivation and starts feeling like building something. The fourth reason is friction, and it's the most fixable of all. Most people have made saving slightly harder than spending. Spending is one tap, one click, one card swipe. Saving requires navigating to a banking app, deciding an amount, initiating a transfer, and doing this again every month. That extra friction, which feels trivial in theory, is enormous in practice when you're tired, busy, or just not in the financial responsibility headspace on a given day. You will lose the friction war almost every time, so stop fighting it and remove the friction entirely. Automate the transfer. Set it to happen the day after payday so it moves before you've mentally incorporated the money into your available balance. Pick an amount you can genuinely sustain, not an ambitious number you'll cancel in 3 weeks, and automate that. Then increase it slightly every few months as your income grows or your expenses adjust. The goal isn't a dramatic savings overhaul. It's a system where saving happens without requiring a decision every month, because decisions are where good intentions go to die. Here's what I want you to take from this. You're not bad at saving because you lack willpower or financial intelligence. You're saving last instead of first, working toward targets too vague to motivate, treating saving as deprivation instead of identity, and fighting unnecessary friction instead of removing it. 4 specific causes, 4 specific responses, none of which require a personality transplant or a dramatic income increase. The version of you that saves consistently isn't a different person with more discipline. It's the same person with a better designed system. Automate the first move. Make the target specific. Connect saving to something that means something to you. And be honest, really honest, about which of these 4 things is actually standing between you and the financial life you keep saying you want. You already know the answer. You've probably known for a while. Now it's just a matter of doing something about it.